And we're back with the Devo show.
Yeah, what is that?
I don't know. Are we not men? We are Devo.
Yeah.
That's what it sounded like.
Like driving around the Coast Highway.
All right. So anyway, well, we were driving around the Coast Highway a couple of weeks
That
ago.
would be great music for it.
That would. Joining us via Zoom, Keith Martin. Thank you for rejoining us. You've been AOL for a couple of weeks, but with good cause. You did a nice little family road trip, and I'm sure you enjoyed yourself and got lots of driving time in.
It was, Stewart, as you know, time with your kids is hard to come by.
Yeah.
And the biggest thing about this little mini tour I put together for my daughter, her husband, and my son in 2 cars, we had dinners together 4 nights in a row. We had lunches every day. We could never make that happen in regular life.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah, it's so important to spend time with family because, time is precious and we all, people get too busy in their lives sometimes and the important things get put on the back burner, so to speak.
Well, we're always too busy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for everything. That was me going to Monterey. I am still
going to Monterey. So I want to know, I heard that supercars are taking over the Monterey streets. Did you notice that?
Oh, my God. I just said all I want is the spent fuel that's burning up, popping in those exhaust pipes for every Ferrari, Lamborghini, Porsche, BMW. It's pop, 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 all night long. And it was crazy. But you know what was really interesting about the whole thing is that how people were respectful, people were nice, people were friendly. Nobody was in a bad mood. You waited a little bit at a restaurant and you were prepared for it. So, it's all managing expectations of things that you do. And I think that people have a tendency to not manage their own expectations or manage in business their customers' expectations. And so with that respect, everybody seemed to be just pretty darn chill for, being out there in the epicenter of the car world.
Did you go to Pebble?
I did go to Pebble. We saw the tour on Thursday morning, leave at 7, god-awful in the morning. And that was really amazing. And then, of course, the Pebble, the day was on Sunday was just unbelievable. It's such a beautiful place to begin with. And then add the beautiful cars, the beautiful people. The funniest takeaway for the whole week, for the whole Sunday was that the line for buying merchandise was an hour long. Wouldn't you like to have merchandise so popular and it was expensive that people waited an hour to buy it? It was just floored me.
And my guess is that stuff's all available on a website as well.
Absolutely. But there's something about that tangible for our generation and even older, I think, I can't tell you how many times I go in to buy something. Well, we don't have your size, but we can order it for you. Nah, I'll pass. Something about that tangible, even though now you got to lug it around and you got to get it home in the suitcase, which is now overweight grossly. I think our suitcase weighed 68 pounds.
Yeah.
So they have those nice thick programs. That's part of the problem. So you were doing your family vacay, but you were keeping an eye on things back at the Sports Car Market Central, right?
Yeah, I've in my front room, I've got a 62-inch TV, and I thought that the live stream this year was far better than it's ever been in the past.
I don't disagree. I've watched a little bit of it. I think that they are, in the past, I like the focus that they have now in the way that they're doing it. It was a little bit looser before and not looser in a good way, I don't think.
I agree.
Yeah.
I thought the commentators did a good job. I thought the interviews were short and to the point.
Right.
We got good views of the cars. I mean, it really, it was almost like being there.
Right. Exactly. Well, it's like watching a football game versus going to a football game live when it's 14 below zero and you miss the play and you don't have instant replay and you got to go stand in line for a beer and a hot dog, or you can sit at home in front of your 62-inch TV and your surround sound and you're there. So
yeah, the other thing is that all the auctions were live streamed as well.
Right, exactly, which I love. It's always fun to watch those if you can't be there in person because you can switch around to 3 different auctions. You can't do that in Monterey. You can't just say, I think I'm going to pop on over to so-and-so. It doesn't work that way.
Right. I want to be there Thursday, so I'm going to leave Tuesday.
It sounds like an excellent plan. We really enjoyed it.
Highway 1 I've been to Pebble 30 times, and It just It's always the same.
Yeah, it's crazy and nuts. We drove to Big Sur for lunch on, I think it was Thursday after the tour took off, and we timed it perfectly. We didn't catch a whole lot of traffic. There weren't many of the clubs. The tour cars had already come and gone, and what a beautiful drive that is. That's as pretty a part of the world as you'll ever see. I just was floored at the scene. Every time you came around a corner, oh, there's another beautiful view.
Yeah. And a beautiful car.
And a beautiful car. Oh my God. The cars were over the top. It was everything we imagined and more. And my wife, who was going for me, not reluctantly, but just knew that this was my bucket list trip. She had a great time. She had a great time out at the track at Laguna Seca. She had a great time watching the cars take off at Pebble on Sunday, the restaurants, the people. It turned out it was more fun for her than she anticipated. And that was really good.
How did you set that up, Stewart, to position her to have a good time at this car guy love fest?
Well, I can tell you the one thing that I never do that I did this time is that I made an itinerary and a plan, and we stuck to it. So she knew every minute of every day what the plan was, when she had time to work, when she had time to call the grandkids, when we were going to be at dinner, and it seemed to make her more at ease having all that, and me as well, because it was overwhelming. I was like, oh crap, are we missing this or are we missing that? Or, and I think by having that itinerary, it forced us to do everything in a logical way. And we weren't ever rushed or feeling like we were, missing something.
So you don't have to tell me the truth here, but did you end up using the SCM Insider's Guide to Monterey?
I absolutely did. I promise you it was I had a folder, Carmel 2025, and it had my itinerary, which was 19 pages, and it had the SCM guide in it, and it had some maps of the Pebble Beach, and it had some maps of Carmel, and it had a list of places we were going to go, and we used it frequently, especially for addresses to plug into the GPS because we drove everywhere. And so having those addresses right there all in one place was really, really helpful.
Yeah, that's our 24th year, I think, of doing that guide.
It's wonderful.
Yeah. And we try to bring it all together. Hang on. We try to put it in one place where it's everything about Monterey, your schedules. And like I said to you, I insist on physical addresses for the GPS.
Yeah.
It simplifies it. And you can't, what did you not get to? Did you get to Legends of the Autobahn?
Yeah, the only thing we didn't get to was that we wanted to. We didn't go to Legends of the Autobahn, and we didn't go to Concours de Lemons. And we're going to do that next year, and we're already planning next year because they said Concours de Lemons is just fun. It's just way more fun than you expect. And we did go by Doty's, the used car lot that people buy a lot of those, and there was some weird, crazy, hard to describe stuff going on out in front of that building. I'll just put it that way. It was a strange day, but we had a really good trip overall. We were exhausted. The problem that we have is being gone for 8 days from our business. And you know this, even with computers, even with everything, it puts you behind the 8-ball.
That's right.
And
and you're trying to follow up with the people you've just met.
Right. And that's difficult. Here we are 2 weeks out, and I've still got a few people on my list to call that we'd met out there. And so it's so much overload. But when you get home, then you have to kind of organize, okay, I got to make sure I told this guy I would email him because he didn't have a card, or I didn't have a card with me, or whatever it was. I never didn't have a card with me. Let's get that part straight. I had cards. Everybody had a card? But it was it's you kind of got to have a game plan for that as well too, because you don't want to tell somebody I'm going to call you when I get back, and then you never call them, and you know, and then all of a sudden then you go, oh crap, that was 3 months ago. Now if I call them, I'm really going to look like a rube. So you have to really manage your time and your hours of what you do in a day, and especially when you've been to an event like that or events.
Right.
So
right. And so you're going to go back.
We're going back. We've already got a room. Well, we're going to reserve it this week for next year, and we're already going back. Of course, all the guys have wanted to try to figure out how we can do the show from there, so they can all come and go as well too. So,
exactly.
as long as we have 1 million viewers by this time next year, then I'll bring all of you. So that's my word. I'm sticking to it. So.
NetJets things are pretty cheap.
Yeah, they're pretty reasonable, aren't they? Especially if you pile as much in there as you can. You know, it's like all you can eat buffet. You know, I got 30 guys for this plane. Well, sir, it only holds 12. 12. Well, we're getting 30 on here because
Well, yeah, and you get a discount if you bring your own box lunch.
nice. I like that. Let me have to make a note of that for
And I
next
think
year.
you can get a Costco fuel card.
Yeah, it was just getting that pesky jet to get into that Costco. You need the fold back wings like the James Bond airplane had. What was that? The BDE-5 or the BD-5? You don't know this? You're a movie guy. You should reference this. So they had folding wings.
I want to touch on something today. You mentioned I had a family vacation, and just briefly, we had a couple of cars. Lotus Elise is a modern car. The Alpha Spider is an old car.
Right.
But I found that going 65 or 70 miles an hour on twisty two-lane roads is as fast as you need to go.
Right.
And I watch these hypercars blow by. They can go 200 miles an hour, and they don't have a driver that has any idea what's going on with those cars.
Exactly. Yeah, it's scary to see them out of control a little bit. You see videos all the time on Facebook of that.
No, well, did you see the supercars blocked off 17-mile drive one night?
Yeah, it was.
What's that about?
I don't know. It's rebellious, and I can't imagine being rebellious when you're young and have a supercar.
And rich.
Yeah, there's a little bit of money. I think if you had a black American Express card, you were, upper middle class maybe.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, nothing was cheap out there, but if you go into it knowing what you know ahead of time and not just kind of blindly wander into it, it makes it a little bit more palatable. You can stand it a little bit more when you spend a little extra than you thought.
Yeah, it's what do we call it? The price you pay. Pay to play.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're going to be in the classic car or special interest car business, then if you're not there, you're missing it. Same with Scottsdale in January. You really should be there. Yep. It's an important thing for our hobby, and it's great people to meet. And the more people you meet, the more you get to meet. And to meet some of these people that you've kind of idolized over the years, and to now get to know them and talk to them and have them on the show. That's a dream come true stuff. So you got to take advantage when you can, because you only do this once, right? There's only one trip around the earth, or whatever they call it.
No, that's exactly right. Pebble looked beautiful this year.
It was really nice. The weather was fantastic.
Yeah,
it was everything we expected and then some.
And the array looked staggering.
And everybody picked the Best of Show winner, and it was not hard to pick that Hispana. I mean, it was spectacular looking in person, and it was unique. I think that set it apart. Although, as I said to Dave Kinney earlier, that Maybach, that 32 Maybach that was in the show, or was one of the finalists for Best in Show, was stunning. I mean, that was
I think that was Dana Meekum's car.
It was, and that car was spectacular. It really. I didn't notice it the first trip through the field, but when it pulled up there, it's like, oh my God, that thing just shouts at you in a subtle way.
Yeah, Dana is an interesting guy because he's got a hand in two pots. He's got the everyman auction, and then he's got his high-end collection. Yeah,
exactly. Well, it's interesting to see. Most of the stuff that he sells isn't in that realm, although they do get some cars like that out there in Monterey and in Kissimmee as well, too. They've got that Ferrari 250 GTO coming up in Kissimmee. So, but you're right. I mean, the core business is no different than us. It's the Mustangs and the Chevelles and the El Caminos and the Camaros,
Right. That's right. And somehow he gets 1,000 to 2,000 cars at every auction.
I don't know how he does. I don't know how they logistically do it, much less just do it. It's an amazing amount of cars. I mean, Kissimmee one year had over 4,400 cars. I don't know how many. You got to have 1,000 people working for you to manage all that, you would think, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of admiration in the industry for how hard Dana's family works.
They work hard, and he does too. And even when he was a little bit ill of health, he was out there as much as he possibly could be, and he looked like he was tired. He could have just taken a nap. And worked his butt off because, I'm sure he didn't come from a lot of money. He didn't come from, I remember when he was doing auctions with 200 and 300 cars and struggling to get that many in a field in Illinois. So, hats off to hard work and persistence, right?
I agree 100%.
All right. Well, we're glad to have you back, and hope they get your elevator all lined out. And
I know. When I pressed the button for it this morning in my condo and it said, emergency power only.
Doesn't make you feel good. It's like buying a steak that they've marked down because it's, we're getting close to the end date on it. It's like, I don't know if I want to.
It's also, you don't, you have a choice then, right? Do you stay on the ground floor and wait? Or when the door opens, do you hope that it'll get you all the way to your floor and not stop 2 floors short?
I'm thinking I'm turning around, going out, getting in my car and finding something to do for a while. And hopefully my brain will have forgotten about the fact that the elevator didn't work when I was there earlier. And I'll just get in it, push the button and go pray that it goes up.
And I'd say, Stewart, live from the coffee shop.
Do you get cell phone service in the elevator? So I have to check that next time you're in the elevator. See how your signal is. So, because we can't miss you, Keith. We got to have you. And if you're in the elevator, then we'll still talk to you.
Well, I'll get a remote cam I'll get an elevator cam.
There you go. Ooh, that sounds great. We'll have to watch some of that. That'll be fun. Anyway, Keith Martin, so wonderful to have you on the show again, as usual, and we'll catch you next week.
All right. Thanks. Great to see you, Stewart.
You too, Keith. Bye-bye.
Here's a special offer from Sports Car Market Magazine. Get a 6-month subscription for just $19.95 by going to sportscarmarket.com/test drive and the number 6. That's sportscarmarket.com/test drive 6. If you're a buyer, a seller, or just general classic car enthusiast, publisher Keith Martin says,
we've been around almost 40 years. It's the Wall Street Journal of the collector car world.
Activate your 6-month trial of Sports Car Market Magazine by going to sportscarmarket.com/test drive 6. Offers for a limited time. Be in the know with Sports Car Market.
The Classic Auto Mall Show with their host, Stewart Howden. Available on classicautomall.com, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts.